Hey, fourth graders. This video is going to help you fill out the next couple of Pear Deck slides that are coming your way. I'm going to give you a quick preview into what you're going to see next in your Pear Deck, because right now you're on this slide watching this video. And when you click next, you're going to see that it's going to take you to the website I'm going to show you in just a second. It says, visit the National Weather Service. When you get there, look up today's weather conditions for Athens, Georgia. Jot them down because you'll record them on the next slide. So this next Pear Deck slide will take you to the website, and then when you go to the next slide, it's going to ask you to record the weather conditions for Athens in this chart. So today's weather conditions for you will be Friday, because Friday is when you're going to do this assignment. Right now it's Wednesday, so I'm actually going to show you this step by step how to do it, but your answers will be different from mine because you're doing this Friday and I'm doing it on Wednesday. So we're going to go back to that website, the National Weather Service. And I like this website because there are so many different weather websites out there, and not all of them are really super reliable. This one is pretty official and very reliable, so I like to use this one. There are two ways you can search for Athens, or wherever you are today. You can click in this box, and you can either start typing in Athens, and make sure you select the Athens in Georgia. There are a lot of Athenses in the world, so make sure you select the correct one. The other way, I'm going to quickly go back to show you the other way you can search, is just to type in your zip code. My zip code in Athens is 30606. Yours might be like 30601. So you can get your city to pop up that way as well. Okay, so here I have all of the weather information for today in Athens, and I need to just remember what exactly I'm looking for because there's a lot going on here. So I'm going to go back to this Pear Deck slide and just double check. So I have all of these weather instruments, and I need the information that corresponds to what each one measures. So the thermometer I know measures temperature, so I need to find the temperature. The wind vane measures what direction the wind is blowing, so I need to find that information. Is it blowing north, south, east, west, a combination of the two of those four? An anemometer measures how fast the wind is blowing, so I need that information too. Usually that's in miles per hour, so that's what I'll be looking for. The barometer measures air pressure. And the rain gauge measures how much it's rained or how much it's precipitated today. It could be rain, snow, sleet, hail. It's pretty sunny and dry today, so that's probably not going to be anything. But let's just double check to be sure. Okay, so now that I have in my brain what kind of information I'm looking for, I'll go back here. And everything that you need is going to be right here in the center. This information down here is what's coming up in the future. So we're worried about right now. For me, Wednesday afternoon. For you, probably Friday morning. But whatever day it is, whatever time it is when you're doing this, just look at that information. Okay, so I remember the first one was temperature. So I need to first make a note of what the temperature is. And I'm going to write on my whiteboard over here. You might want to just jot it down on a scratch piece of paper. If you are comfortable toggling back and forth between your two tabs, you could just go to your drawing slide and put that information here, but I'm going to write it down because that kind of confuses me. So, okay, let's record my info. I see now here that it is 74 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the temperature. What you see here, 23 degrees Celsius, that's another scale of temperature that we don't use in the United States, but they use it all over the world, so it's kind of cool to know about anyway. But since we're in the United States, we're going to write 74 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's what I'll put in my chart in just a minute. Okay, I think the next one was wind speed. All right, wind direction. Good news is wind speed and wind direction are actually together on this website. So where you see wind speed, in this little line right here, that's going to give you everything you need for your second and third boxes on your chart. This is actually not an awesome example. You see where it says VRBL right here? That means variable. And I'm going to kind of zoom in so you guys can see better. Normally what you would see here is the direction letter, like N for north, south, east, or west. You'd see some combination of those letters. So if the wind is blowing northeast, you might see NE. VRBL, that means that it's not really blowing in one particular direction. So it's not a super exciting answer, but I'm just going to do that anyway. Since it says VRBL, that's what I'm going to write for my wind direction. Not really any direction. And then the next piece of information here says 7 mph. You might know from like driving, being in a car, that's speed. That's how speed is measured sometimes. So mph means miles per hour. So the wind right now is traveling 7 miles per hour. And it's not blowing in any particular direction. Okay, so I've got 3 pieces of information. I remember I needed 5. Air pressure was the next one. Air pressure is measured with what? The barometer. That's right. So the barometer says here, my air pressure is 30 3/100 inches, or 1,016 5/10 millibars. You can write it in whatever scale you want. I think I'm going to choose the one in parentheses. You could write them both if you wanted to. So these numbers for air pressure might not mean a whole lot to you, but just so you know, that's a pretty high pressure air day. When the air pressure is high, usually it's fair outside, it's sunny. When the air pressure is low, that's when you get kind of like a stormy day or a rainy day or a gloomy day. So yeah, the higher the air pressure, usually the nicer the day. That's not really a rule, but that's kind of how I remember. So the last thing I need is, let me go back and see. Rain gauge. Does it rain? Has it rained today? It looks like that information is not right here. Okay, I don't see any information about rainfall on this website. I think that might be because it hasn't rained today. So if it rains on the day that you're doing this, then you would probably have that information on here. It looks like it's probably not going to rain on Friday. You can see from here. So you probably will be writing 0 for rain gauge, because unless it rains on Friday, your precipitation is nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer what I did here into the Pear Deck. Okay, I think I'm done. I've transferred everything from my whiteboard into the Pear Deck slide. Wherever possible, make sure you have your units instead of just numbers with no information about what you're talking about. So I couldn't make the degrees sign with my keyboard. You might be able to draw it in there if you're using the drawing tool. I like to use this text tool just because I can't draw very well with my mouse, but if you're drawing on this slide, you could make the degrees symbol. But I just typed out degrees, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind vane, the wind direction is variable. The wind speed was 7 miles per hour. The air pressure was 1,016.5 millibars, and the rain gauge is 0 inches. If you do have an amount of rainfall, usually that is measured in inches. So you can use that as your unit if you got that information. Okay, I hope this helped. Enjoy finding out what the weather is today, and have a great day, meteorologists. Adios.